to Ray Highland to talk about the Green Infrastructure Challenge now, and learn more about what we're trying to accomplish there.
Thank you, and good morning. Well, Carlton mentioned some of this, and certainly our goal to support the demonstration project, and just stepping back a little bit, you know, I think it's important to note that we really believe this is an opportunity and has potential to not only reduce stormwater and capture that stormwater and reduce combined sewer overflows, but also to provide all the added benefits that Carlton had mentioned about sustainable DC. And that's really what we're, you know, the reason we're going in this direction for green infrastructure. And we're looking for your good ideas. We're challenging you, the designers, the researchers, the manufacturers. Give us your great ideas. We think that you know, this is a new technology in the urban built environment. I think there are certainly some challenges that we recognize with implementing in utilities laden areas, also all of our operation and maintenance issues that we're dealing with. So we think there's a better mousetrap out there, and we're challenging you to give us all your great ideas. So some of those Carlton had mentioned, this is going to be a really unique challenge that we will be not only awarding design, but also implementing construction and awarding construction for this project. So I think this is a really unique and exciting opportunity, and we're really glad to be part of this. So some of the other goals that we're looking for, in addition to what Carlton had mentioned, is, you know, we want these to be not only innovative, but we want them to be practicable. We want them to be cost effective so that we can implement these possibly on a larger scale, and we're looking to construct this. So we'll be evaluating it based on what is the real buildable quality of this submission. And finally, Carlton had talked about the Potomac and Rock Creek watersheds. This is where our projects will be confined to, so all the submissions must be within those areas, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but we need to focus on retrofitting these in the urban environment. Now, the urban environment is not just, at least imperviousness, is not just confined to the right-of-way. It's also all the other land use categories that are within the district. So we developed these 3 categories based on the district and its imperviousness for public space, not only the right-of-way, sidewalks and streets, but also private and commercial, as well as what's unique to the district and is government and institutional. Now, about 10% of the district's impervious area is actually is representative as government and institutional. So I think that's important to note, and we certainly wanted to capture that as one of the categories. So these are the 3 categories, and if you can see on the map here, the green is the Rock Creek or Potomac drainage area, and the blue is is the Rock Creek drainage area, and the blue is the Potomac drainage area. And this is really where the projects must be located. There is a link on the website that you can go to that will have a map, and Bethany is going to walk us through the website later, so you'll be able to see that to get a detailed view of whether or not your potential project that you're thinking about is within those boundaries. Just to go into a little bit about our categories in the public space, we're looking for what is the right-of-way, considered the right-of-way. Now, we're opening it up to anywhere in these drainage areas, but also we wanted to identify, and thanks to DDOT for working with us on this, we've identified 2 locations that you can also choose from to help give you a more defined area for your submission. Now, those 2 areas, we picked one in each one of the drainage areas, and they're pretty much definitive of what I would think each of the areas would be. If you look in the Rock Creek area, that's kind of in the Petworth neighborhood, and it's Kennedy between Georgia and 13th Street. It's a very residential street. You can see typical of that neighborhood. It's actually a wide street. However, it does have a steep slope, so there are some challenges there with that. And again, it's a very residential area. The second is within the Rock Creek area. This is actually in Georgetown. This is Prospect Street between Wisconsin and Potomac. Now, this is what I would think of Potomac as of Georgetown as being not only that residential historic look, but also some mix of commercial. And this is very definitive of what this block is like. There's actually some dining area within this sidewalk, some al fresco area for the restaurants that are located on the street, but there's also some residential. It's a very narrow street, much of like what Georgetown is. So I think this is some good considerations and that will help us expand this into these other areas for our right-of-way projects. So we are planning to survey this within the next month and are looking to get results provided via the website by Addenda, and Bethany's going to walk through that with you and show you where that is. But we'll get that information. We think that'll be helpful in getting folks to really nail down their ideas with a little more information within these two sites. So that will be available, and look for that by July 15th. The commercial and private, again, this is a very big part of our impervious area that will contribute to combined sewers, so we certainly are looking to target these areas for our projects and are focusing right now on the retrofitting, certainly for the ease of implementation. We want these to be existing properties, and also I think some of the other stormwater guidelines that the district is going through is really helping with the development side. So we're really focusing on the retrofit side, and that's what this category is for any private commercial property. And finally, like I mentioned before, very unique to the district, we do have a large area of government and institutional. This would include federal, district, all the schools and institutions, any of the nonprofit type of groups. We think this is an exciting category to get them involved. We also think there is opportunity here to create additional programs, and I'll go through some of our evaluation requirements that will support that, but we think that would be, there are some opportunities there to support those types of sites and projects. So we are looking for, in terms of eligibility, we're looking for multidisciplinary teams. We think this is an integrated approach. We want to capture all the added benefits, and we think sustainable design really takes that multidisciplinary approach. But we do want these to be buildable projects, so we are looking for the team to have at least one professional engineer, locally registered, as well as a registered landscape architect as part of the team. Now, the criteria for our submission that we'll be evaluating, certainly this is what we're requiring, and there's more specifics in the brief that is available on the website that will give you what type of file size, but I just want to point out initially that this is all electronic. Everything that you will receive and submit will all be done through our website, so please note that. We are looking for specific file types and size, so please key on that, but we've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible, and I think you're going to actually find it pretty easy, and Bethany's going to walk you through that here in a minute. So in addition, we're requiring the challenge submission forms, and really the package will include, that we'll be evaluating, will include the cover and abstract. We want to see organizational structure. If we're going to take this to the next phase of implementation, we're looking for teams that have that organizational structure. So we'd like to see that, as well as the narrative, which will really be